I want to get your reaction first to Jeff Sessions stepping down as Attorney General. Matthew Whitaker takes over as acting Attorney General, and the president says a permanent replacement will be named later. But the commentary has already begun. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, wants Whitaker to recuse himself from the Mueller probe. How hard should Democrats push for recusal or for some kind of action to make sure that the Mueller probe continues?
Well, it's not much of a surprise. Jeff Sessions has been through a pretty rough year, and it was expected that at some point he would step down. I thought it would take a few more days, but it hasn't. He's gone today, and obviously his second in command has been put into being Attorney General. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions asked about whoever replaces Jeff Sessions. And the relationship to the Mueller investigation. But very frankly, there isn't that much information out there to make a judgment one way or another as to whether or not there'll be any interference with the Mueller investigation.
Mr. Panetta, this already sort of signals, though, how much we're going to see a combative set of situations arise. We heard from President Trump that there was going to be a beautiful bipartisan situation that could develop, but it looks as though there's going to be a lot of subpoenas, investigations coming from the Democrats. Do you think that's the right course of action?
Well, look, this new divided Congress, along with the president, can take one of two paths. One can be continuing gridlock. We've had gridlock the last 2 years with a Republican Congress, and we could get continuing gridlock, both parties in their trenches and not getting much done for the country. That's one path. The other is to try to govern the country and to be able to come together and find consensus and compromise. There are some issues that I think both sides can agree to, issues like infrastructure funding, issues like health care, even immigration. There are a number of issues where they could work together, and that would be much better for the country. I don't know what path they're going to take. I hope they take the path of governing the country.
I want to get your take on how the Democrats fared in the midterm elections as well, because a lot of people had been predicting a blue wave. But when you look at the results today, you could say it wasn't much of a blue wave. It was, yes, the Democrats now control the House, but not by a whole lot. Give us your read. Is there a sense of disappointment within the Democratic Party? Does the party have a better sense of its identity now than it did before the midterms?
Well, look, there's no question this country is split. We saw what happened in the red states. We've seen what happened in the blue states. But the reality is when you get to some of these individual districts, I think the Democrats, frankly, had better candidates who are trying to appeal to local issues, and that's the way you win elections. So I think the Democrats got a better sense about the issues that play to their favor, such as health care. And as a result of that, I hope those that have been elected understand that it's important now to come back to Washington, not to constantly be in a battle with the Republicans and with the president, but try to see if there are ways to try to govern the country. That's what the American people want. I think that's why they elected, frankly, a check and balance in the Congress with a Democratic Congress.
Of course, we've just completed one election, so why not just start thinking about the next one? And I wanted to get your take on 2020 and potential leadership of the Democratic Party going forward. Many had put Beto O'Rourke's potential name in the hat, even though he then did lose out on his particular run-in in Texas, but it was a close fight. Who do you think might lead the party going forward?
I think the nomination on the Democratic side is wide open. There are going to be a large number of candidates that will probably seek the presidency, and they'll range across the whole political spectrum on the Democratic side. So I just think it's too early to even begin to speculate who that candidate will be. My hope is that the Democrats nominate somebody that can help unify this country. This country is badly divided. I don't think our democracy can survive the kind of divisions that we see. It's time to try to unify the country, and hopefully a Democratic candidate will try to do that.